All right, let me think of something to do with this. These masterpieces of films, and I'm not even lying. I actually started off not wanting to do this while watching it. I was like, you know what, these films are great.
Well, they are something. They are definitely something.
Yeah, there's a contrast. We'll get into how I feel about these films.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the man who is a better voice actor than actual actor. And it hurts me to say that because of who this episode is about. Kyle Charles and
The man who keeps what he kills, CY Chung.
And today, we did something really, I don't know, for me it's therapeutic, if I'm honest, because everyone knows that I love this actor and all these films. We decided to watch the Riddick Trilogy, plus a short, and starring my boy, Vincent, Mark Sinclair, aka Vin Diesel. These films, the first one is Pitch Black, which came out in, I want to say 2000.
2000?
I want to say 2000.
Yeah, I think it was 2000 spot on.
And the Chronicles of Riddick came out 2004.
Yeah.
I remember that correctly. And then Riddick, they came out like 2015?
13.
Was it 13?
Yeah.
Like, oh, snap. I feel like it came out a lot later. Okay.
Well, yeah, I thought it came out, Triple X3 came out in 2017. For some reason, I thought Riddick came out about the same time.
Same here, because I had that weird renaissance of Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, so...
But yeah, Pitch Perfect.
I was going to say, what did you think of these Riddick films? But technically, the first one's not... I mean, Riddick's in the film, but the first one's... Pitch Black is not a Riddick film.
No.
Yeah.
What would you class the first one as, really? Like,
a sci-fi suspense action adventure horror a little bit.
Yeah, because of the monsters at night.
Yeah. But the other two are definitely sci-fi action.
Yeah, big time.
Oh, okay. Firstly,
Chronicles of Riddick, I would say, that's more like sci-fi action. Riddick takes a weird backward turn, if that makes any sense.
What is strange is the budget when you're looking at it is okay. Further on, not more money probably goes to Vin Diesel because he's big bucks money, right?
Yeah.
So, but when I say budget, what I mean is okay. So Chronicles of Riddick looks like there's a lot of sets and stuff like that, costumes and all that stuff. Money was pumped into that, right?
Yeah.
Riddick looks like they're in a set location.
Yeah.
For the particular story.
Yeah.
Which I liked, by the way, but I'm just like, it seems like smaller. It's way smaller scale.
Yeah.
Than Chronicles of Riddick. Because most of the movie takes place in the. I want to say the White House.
One place, really. It really takes like one is a soundstage.
And Pitch Black is in a confined area as well, even though it's bigger. It's not. It's like the spaceship and the Badlands, whatever they are.
Yeah, the Badlands. You forget that was the whatever called. Yeah, and so.
Okay, what would you? How your order of your favorites ranking these films?
All right. Before when I first saw, I'll say like first would be Chronicles of Riddick because I realized.
Wait, is that already?
That's number one.
Yeah,
that's number one.
Okay.
But when I first saw Chronicles of Riddick, I didn't like it. I didn't get it. I was like, this is trying to be way too much than it's meant to be.
All right.
Because I didn't watch it properly, if I'm honest. And then now I've caught like, wow, this film has like so much like backstory and stuff, like world building, which they don't really ever like touch upon in the next one. But anyway,
yeah, they're waiting for number 4.
Yeah, which probably come out in 2033 when Vin Diesel was like 70. And then I kind of rank Pitch Perfect. I keep calling it Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, that's another film. I actually love that film anyway. But
three of them. Hold on. Just this sidetrack second. Have you seen? Have you seen?
I've seen all three.
I have not seen any of them.
I've seen all of them. Like the first one I saw by accident, and I was like,
yeah,
this film's amazing.
Where's Vin Diesel? Where's Vin Diesel? What's going on?
I was like, I shouldn't like this, but I do. And then
well, okay, we're sidetracking here, but sometimes there's movies like that. I haven't seen them, but I haven't seen any of those. But some people like High School Musical as well. So like, you know, I mean, like, yeah. Like, you know, sometimes you just jive with the thing you're watching, you know?
Yeah, you're like, oh, this caught me on a weird day, and I it's brightened up.
Yeah. And then maybe the second time you watch, you'd be like,
yeah.
But at a particular time, and that you're in the mood.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like Pitch Black, I would kind of that and Riddick, I'll kind of mesh them both as second because they're kind of the same film, but not.
Oh well, yeah. Funny enough, okay. My order of them is Pitch Black, Riddick, and then Chronicles of Riddick last because, like, some of the things you liked about it, I have to say, I disliked about it.
Yeah.
Like, Chronicles of Riddick was trying to do too much. So it had a voice at the beginning to try and explain all this stuff, and it's like you can't lump all that to me, and then it's like at the beginning of Green Lantern where they're telling you about the emotional spectrums, and then nothing comes of it because you only see the green one, and then yellow at the end, and
like, so why did you tell me all this? Oh, you're trying to run before you can walk. Cool, I get you. Yeah.
And then like you say, Chronicles of Riddick, the backstory they give, Riddick itself doesn't even cover.
No, so it's like 2 seconds. All right, say 2 seconds. Like the first 2 minutes when he's king of the the necromancer, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And then he gets shipped to that planet. You're like, oh, okay. So and then at the end, he goes back to it like,
yeah.
What? Okay, you brought Carl back for nothing.
So, like, there's got to be a number 4, right?
Because how it ends. Because I didn't remember ending like that. I was like, wait.
Yeah. I thought he got back. He got in the ship. He went away, and that's that, right?
Yeah.
But no, he come back to get Carl Urban for revenge.
Yeah,
stuff,
who's not alive or dead? He's both. You know? Oh.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
You know? If you say so, yeah.
Sure. Okay. Sure. And then it's 11 years later, and I don't know what happened next.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, so for Chronicles of Riddick, I feel like the main villain was okay. So I'm watching Riddick. Okay, so the Keith David gets killed.
Yeah, which again I thought he lasted longer in that film than he did. Yeah.
And then Riddick goes to get the guard that shanked him. Yeah, it's guard for some reason. It's got a blade in his back, right? Yeah. And just like, I'm gonna leave it there because I don't feel any pain or whatever. Apparently, I mean, I get like Vin Diesel. He needs to know which guard did it, right?
Yeah.
But you could have a hole in the guard's armor because why would you leave a knife in your shoulder blade for the amount of time that it took Vin Diesel to go and find him?
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, I have a minute now. Take out my back. You know what I mean? Not wait around and then.
Yeah. It was like, can someone just kind of reach it? No.
No.
And the over dramatic coat dropping that Vin Diesel does when he's got that cloak on and he backs up from the swipe, and he needs to kind of, I don't know, flex, reverse flex. I don't know. It was just like, all right, you could have get your coat and throw it in the guy's face and then attack him.
I mean, there's so much of things get done. Like,
I'm not criticizing. I just it's like, why was that? I mean, I am criticizing not because Vin Diesel got a Vin Diesel. It's just like logistically,
you know what it is? It's that, like, again, I think I've said this before. Like, it was that time period in films where it was just do things that look cool but were pointless, like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you look around that time, any of the sort of films, like all the Jet Li films from early 2000s.
Yeah, that was true.
Like, even all that stuff, like awesome flamboyant things. And like, but what was the point?
Yeah.
It wasn't until like Taken came out and they kind of got rid of that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's like
I have to say as well that you point about Taken. It's the fight scenes in this film as well. Chronicles of Riddick were very choppy. I found.
Yeah.
It's like not extended cut stuff, but I think it's trying to, like you say, copy the Born Identity style.
Yeah, because that would have come out around this time, innit? Yeah.
But there are some things that I'm gonna go to some things I like and try to do it in the order that I saw in the film, right? But I'm probably gonna flip about. So the new girl who was Jack, who was Kyra, she was good at the beginning. When she made her first appearance, you're like, oh yeah, she seems capable. She seems capable. Like she's in the jail, wherever it is, and she must have had her fights because girl knew how to take care of herself.
Yeah.
Razor blades in her mouth and stuff like that. But pro wrestling stuff where you got to do the blade job.
Yeah.
And she and highly capable. And then what was it? Her and Vin Diesel team up to do a X-23 Wolverine kind of double team maneuver stuff. All right.
But you know what? I kind of like. I liked her character, but as the film got on, she came more damsel in distress, which I kind of didn't like that part about it.
That's what I was going to get to as well. It's like the bit where I'm like, okay, cool character, right? Cool character. But how's it going to turn out? Because Vin Diesel's there, right? Yeah. So he can only be cool to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
But I expect her to be at least like his backup. You know what I mean?
His equal, but not at least. Yeah.
Well, not Vin Diesel's equal. They ain't gonna happen. But you know what I mean? Okay, whatever you want to put it, right? But keep her capabilities through the entire film.
Yeah.
Except for the bit where she's like, where that sun thing is coming up and it's going to burn everything in its path.
Yeah.
And everyone has to run. And then he pours water on himself. And she's like, oh, Riddick, when I said I wanted to die, I didn't really want to die. And he goes and saves her. And I'm like, that's when her...
Yeah. And her
I'm going to say her levels just drop. But, and then she can fight for a bit, right? But then she kind of just doesn't... It's like, well, there's no... You kind of maxed out too far, too quick in the film.
Yeah.
And she does her bit at the end, but I reckon, I personally would have preferred her...
Not to die?
Or teaming up with him, a bit more. And okay, not to die would probably be something doing, like, it'd be nice if they was a team, yeah?
Yeah.
Be like, not, like how he's looking after the kid.
Yeah.
A bit like, Pitch Black, Dark Fury. No, Chronicles of Riddick. It's Dark Fury explained all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Jack they didn't want Jack to be with Riddick because it turned into. Well, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Riddick's character in the first film is more ambiguous.
Yeah.
But by the time Chronicles of Riddick happened, he's like full on superhero, as in good guy. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's like best bounty hunter around that stuff. Yeah.
Which is kind of like he's got his grittiness to him, but it's just like, now you're 100% a good guy.
Yeah.
So you've got it just didn't set up the bite previously.
Yeah.
As Pitch Black would have. And the fight with the main villain at the end.
Yeah.
Who was M. Bison basically doing a teleport spam in Street Fighter 2, the movie, against Ryu, and Carl Urban as Ken, but not really. I did like Tanya Newton's just continuous backstabbing. She couldn't stop it. She couldn't help herself. Great
what would have been dope in this film, like if she was a figment of his imagination.
Oh, what, Carl Urban's?
Yeah, I thought that, like, because something in what I watched recently, they pulled that out. I'm like, that'd have been dope in this if they'd done that, like, it was his subconscious.
The way that he painted himself, like the way they painted him gaunt and his hair stuff, like, and he's always he was like the secondary, and they were like, you could see it'd work as an ego thing, because that explained why she keeps on egging him on to betray. It's like his mind just be like, I need that spot. I want the number one spot. I think it would have worked.
That would have been dope.
I did like it though. I did like it where Carl Urban jumps down to go and kill the main bad guy, right? While he's teleporting over to grab the sword, and he sees Riddick, so he can't grab the blade, right?
Yeah.
Tanya is like, this is over. She turns around to do the camera that isn't there, right? By the way, like, it's pro wrestling, and then when the bad guys, because he's initiated the move, the rest of them's got to go. Carl Urban swings the blade, it misses.
Yeah.
He finally turns around. Riddick's getting the kill shot. She's like, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, oh.
I was like, suddenly she's from a completely different movie, but fine. She's played her part consistently, so that's all right, Some people would say, by the way, that she would be, the way she was acting would be out of place in this movie, but this movie's not completely serious either. So I think she kind of her not super outlandishness, but the way she plays it adds to it. Especially when they were after Riddick's beaten up the guy with the knife in his back.
Yeah.
And they were going to do whatever they were going to do to him. And she like strolls over and says, perhaps if someone just asked him, he would go. And then she tries to lead him into the death trap, which she does successfully because, you know.
Which, like, I think her character does fit. It's kind of like, because this film, like, it's trying to be kind of Shakespearean as well, with all, like, the weird families and backstabbing and stuff. So it kind of fits. But, yeah, there's a lot, again, like, I do like this film, but, like, they try to cram so much, like, the elementals and all this stuff. Like, but
and that last Furion as well, who walks into the sun to turn himself into dust because he's like, yeah, I've been a slave to this guy for so long. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
So my people, you're the last one. It's like, yeah. Where are you going with that?
When you just killed yourself? I'm confused. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that bit. And then...
If he existed, then Vin Diesel's Furion can't do it. I don't know. I don't know. What?
How's that? Oh, okay. Yeah. And then, what else? There's enough. There's not much I didn't like.
What? What I remember from this film, by the way, is when Vin Diesel's chained up, when they put him in from the bounty hunter's got him, they've got him chained up, and he goes and wraps himself around the chain.
Yeah, that is dope. I don't know.
And he spins himself down, and he pulls the handcuffs, and they break when he reaches the bottom. Even though, realistically speaking, I know we say realistically speaking because nothing's realistic in any movie, right? No. But he should have shanked his shoulders. I don't know if his alien biology, whatever, right?
Yeah.
You know when people do them dives in with a rope attached to them, the fire hose, whatever it is, off the building, right? Yeah. They should, their spine should be broken in half because they're not with rubber bungee jumper ropes.
Like has no give. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. But whatever. I mean, that's
Like
I think they didn't play up the eyesight thing enough. Well, they have some in this film. I actually have less probably in the Riddick film itself.
Yeah, but I think
there was a major point in Pitch Black. I was going to say Point Blank, and I was like, wait a minute.
Completely over different film as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was alright. It's just it's slow to start, but then it gets going in the back half.
Yeah.
And I think there's stuff happens, but there's not action stuff that happens. No. It's like little skirmishes and stuff like that. Yeah. But then later on, there's more stuff that actually, I want to say, has consequence. But I never thought Vin Diesel was in trouble. Whereas in Pitch Black, I thought, oh, okay.
In Pitch Black, because you wouldn't think like, who is this Riddick guy? I didn't even know his name was Riddick in Pitch Black until Chronicles of Riddick came out. You know what I mean? So it's like,
but no, even that, other characters were in peril as well.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the characters in some of these films just there to die.
Yeah. A lot of them in Riddick.
Yeah. I'm sure you remember that film, Escape Plan with Seagal and. With Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And there was that guy who was in Iron Man. I can't remember his name. The bald guy. The guy who kidnapped him for the 10 rings.
Yeah. The fake. Yeah, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
It's like Firehead or something like. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
And Stallone and Schwarzenegger and him are running down a hallway.
Yeah.
Getting shot at by the troops.
Yeah.
To get shot to death.
Yeah.
You know the one place the bullets can go, that's down the hallway, but only one guy eats it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that film, and I was like so enraged, like this. There's so many ways you could have went about this, and it's like, okay, cool, but only the brown guy dies. I mean, like, cool, all right.
But yeah, so I just never got the sense that Riddick was
in danger. No.
Yeah, and not only that, it was just more of. Not how he's going to get out of this way, out of the problem, where it's just like he is going to get out of the problem.
Yeah. It's just what speed bump you have to go over to get to it.
Yeah. And the only speed bump seemed to be the spam teleporting bad guy.
Yeah, that's the only person he has problem with the whole film, isn't
it? Yeah. Everyone else, he's just
and the sun, obviously. The sun, he has a problem with the sun because.
Yeah, but Vin Diesel probably could scare the sun away, you know?
with one of his one cool liners. Like,
yeah.
He's the best.
Would you like to have seen him and Carl Urban face off?
Yeah, because I thought that was kind of leading to, but then Carl Urban's character, even though you find out more in I'm about to say Gable in Riddick, that he's more like he's super loyal and stuff like that. Because when we get to Riddick, but so I was like, oh, he's not really a bad guy. Carl Urban's character, he's actually wants to look out for the people. Yeah, and he knows the other guy, teleporter dude, is like just.
Well, I mean, I think it's an awkward situation where you're like, so Tanya Newton, where was she? Whose side was she on? She seemed to be on her own side.
I feel like she was on her own side. She wanted to get Carl Urban's character Vigus. To get
Vanka,
that's it.
Yeah.
And then
betray
him.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like.
I don't know. Yeah.
Because I don't think she I thought she was just like going to betray everyone until she gets what she needs.
Yeah.
And she took his like his good side and took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when they kill people, he wasn't really.
Yeah, I want to say he seemed a bit. Carl Urban seemed a bit secondary because at that point in his career, though.
Yeah.
He wasn't Carl Urban as he is now.
No, he hadn't been in Doom yet, so you know.
Wait. Was it? When was Doom? 2003?
2005.
Oh, right. Okay.
2005.
You know what? I think at this point in his career he was getting in good projects.
Yeah.
He hadn't been in Dread yet for definite.
Yeah, no.
Or Star Trek. So but yeah, I mean, I think.
Yeah, 2005 Dread came out. So yeah, Doom came out. So yeah, he hadn't had that Doom fame yet. So, you know. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna. He seemed like to be the guy that Riddick would have fought before he fought the King or whatever. You know.
But I think that's why one thing I like that film. It kind of took away your you thought it was gonna happen and it didn't because they tried to make it like the same like more like a space opera drama thing featuring a guy who can see in the dark, but he's mostly on a planet full of light. But anyway, you know.
Yeah. Would you have preferred them to double team fight the King at the end, or would you just prefer the?
Yeah, I would prefer they did, and like the same sort of thing happened, but the double team fight before, and then Carl Urban went for the kill, and then what's his name tried to slam out. Yeah.
Well, the thing is as well. I mean, there's something to that, which we might say is predictable, but you could also do it like they're out to kill him each.
Yeah,
the King, so it becomes not a triple threat match, but they're not looking at each other's backs. You know, they're not protecting each other. They're just trying to get. Well, Riddick's trying to kill him for vengeance.
Yeah,
he killed Jack, aka Kyra,
and these people.
Carl Urban wants. And Carl Urban wants to be on the throne, but not for nefarious reasons.
Yeah,
right, to get this guy off it.
Yeah.
And then the King wants to survive, of course. So you know, then you have the. You know, and then you could get into the same. You still could get in the same situation as they did at the end.
Yeah.
I did I was like, all right, Vin Diesel, he kills the King, he stumbles back because it's like, oh, Jack.
I like how he stumbled back and then realized, oh, I'm still on the throne. Crap.
Yeah, I'm still on the throne. Like, all right, you know, if you okay.
Oh, I literally just I stumbled into this. Cool. All right. Yeah. I'm king now. Yay. Which he doesn't enjoy, which we find out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to speak about Pitch Black?
Yes, Pitch Black.
Pitch Black again. Pitch Black now or Chronicle or Riddick?
Pitch Black. Let's speak about Pitch Black. I remember seeing this, and it's
in cinema.
No. I think I was too young, so I saw it by means that it's been 20 years now, so I can't get arrested for this. I saw it on pirate.
Okay.
And the version I saw was like the quality was terrible. It basically was black and white.
Yeah.
So I was kind of seeing it in Riddick vision.
Yes. You were watching it meta style.
Meta, without even knowing, because me and some other people watched it at my house. It was like, oh, that was an interesting like choice of how they filmed it. Not to find out later. It was.
So when Riddick actually started. They started doing the film in Riddick Vision. How was the
barely see anything? It was just like bright. I'm like, oh wow, this is weird. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's creative.
Artistic choice, yes.
Yeah. It's a good movie as before like the days of like LCD and LED TVs because that would have burnt out the screen. But yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. But I remember enjoying it. Like, even though we watched it a couple of months ago and we spoke about it, I enjoyed it then as well. Like, how I pictured the film, the female captain, I always thought of her as like the main character.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, like looking at it back of it, we could say I think we should say that because she kind of was help drive the plot.
Yeah. So like when she died, I was like, oh no, that's out of nowhere. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But what I did like about this film is Riddick's just like
a normal dude.
We could go and leave them, you know what I mean? I don't care about them enough to stay, so
yeah. So like in Pitch Black, they kind of played him like as a shade of grey. Like he's not bad, he's not evil. He's just he's not good, he's not evil. He just happens to be in a situation where
whatever's convenient for him, but not in.
Yeah.
It's not a backstabber per se, right? No. It's just like if the situation looks like it's going down, I'm jumping shit because I'm looking out for number one.
Yeah,
and I can't snap a situation whereby I will sacrifice everyone else for my life. You know?
Yeah, which was kind of different for like, especially back then in the cinema. Like you didn't really get that shade of grey characters, really, did you? So it was like, oh, that's different.
Well, they set him up like he's a convict criminal, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then play up in the next couple of parts. He just happened to be there because we wrote him in as a suspicious person.
Yeah.
In the first one, right?
Yeah.
But now we don't lean into it far enough in the next lot.
Yeah. And they kind of like forgive the stuff that he's. Even though realistically, what bad things did he really do? Because he wasn't like a murderer, was he? He's like a bounty hunter, which is Merc. It's not really.
It's whatever they decided, and then decided it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like how Black Adam was fighting the 7 sins and caused the collapse of whatever, right? And then in the movie, no, that's not actually what happened.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Black Adam.
Yeah. Retcon.
Yeah. Well, we'll never see him again. But anyway. But yeah, and like you're saying, that one's more like a would you say horror? Sci-fi horror sort of.
I personally wouldn't because I don't feel it is one.
Yeah.
It's got those elements within it.
Yeah. All right, sci-fi thriller. Well, thriller. No, I wouldn't say thriller really. It's not like.
I would say suspense thriller probably.
Yeah.
Something like that. Something along those lines because I don't. It's like it's a slasher film horror. Well, some of them can be and some of them aren't.
Yeah.
Definitely. So.
Yeah. But either way, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like especially that bit where I think that guy tries to betray him, and then Riddick gets away, and then the guy's like trying to get the torch, whatever. And then he turns on the torch, and then you see all the monsters around him, and then as the light goes off, they all like engulf him. Like, good. You was meant to be a good guy, but he's really a dick. Yes.
I think it's like. Which something that wraps around all the way to number 3, because they keep it in mind, right? But it's just like, people are going to die, to get us from point A to point B because they have to show the shadow beings, whatever they're called, are lethal to an extent.
Yeah, they actually are.
So, yeah, exactly. Not like in Riddick where. There's some stuff, but they're not really, kind of.
Yeah, they just sort of there. The main bad guy in Riddick is like the storm that's coming. That's the main bad guy in Riddick, really.
It's true. Oh. I have to say, when I first watched Pitch Black, I was like, yeah. Right? But then, the more I watch, the more I think, you know what, actually, this is pretty good. Because people... It's like a slasher film, kind of, right? Yeah. Which is like, okay, I can get on with that. I can get with that. You know, they're not playing the slasher stereotypes, but you know, it's one of those films where I'm like, we're here for people to die.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
And some people to survive, but we don't know who at this point.
No,
you know, I mean, even Riddick himself could have died.
Yeah,
at certain points in the film, you know, and he just happened to be in situations where. other people died, but he was in this. If he was in himself, he would probably really be put as well.
Yeah,
in certain situations.
All right. Do you think back then they were looking for him to become like? Do you think that film was written for him to be the main like attraction?
What's it called?
The main focus point.
For him to. Yeah, well, for Vin Diesel to. Do you mean like a spotlight vehicle for him?
Yeah, I mean, no, like like the character is not an actor. Like the character Riddick was meant to be like the selling point of not the selling point, but like the main focus of the film.
I don't think
like
in the
ensemble sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think in the first movie he was.
Yeah, first movie no.
Personally, okay. I think he was just there to add a different blend of character to all the type of people that were there.
Yeah.
Though they did make sure to highlight him. This guy is a felon, blah blah blah. Keep away from him and all that stuff. So there was definitely eyes on the prize, but not to the extent where you're like, yeah, this is his movie.
Because I feel like the only reason why like Chronicles of Riddick became a thing and all that stuff, like, because on paper, not on paper, how they presented Riddick in Pitch Black, like he was cool. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah. And then was like, yeah, I want to be like him. I want to have dog eyes. Yeah, which a random bit in
UV tan.
Yeah,
the floating goggles.
Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, let's make a film like that guy. That's what I kind of feel like.
To be fair, and I don't think it was at the time when they're doing a movie, but if you were going to pick any of the characters to do a sequel on, there's only one character.
Yeah,
that. So yeah,
but to be fair, like Pitch Black could have been a one and done film in a way. How it was kind of thing you could have like one and done it, but
I think the character of Riddick wasn't so unique that they couldn't have done the other films with not using Riddick, because the only thing he uses is night vision, but he doesn't really use that in the other movies. And then none of the little spiciness that was Riddick in the first film in the next lot of films. Yeah.
Literally, like the only kind of time they use the eye in Chronicles of Riddick is in the prison, right? And then when he talks to the dog, when he starts stroking that dog thing or whatever it is, and he's like, "It's an animal thing." Like,
yeah, which by the way, then leads us to Riddick 3, where he's dumped on the thing with his broken leg, right? And even then, I did not think that he would. Like, this is the first 10 minutes of the movie, to be fair, or something like that. And I'm like,
trying to give you peril. Like,
dogs, what's he gonna do? And I'm like, wait a minute, is he just gonna stand them down and then pat them on the head, just like he did in which he didn't do, but he did kind of do.
Yeah,
because he befriended them. Well, he made the cage out of ribs.
Yeah, and then he he adopted one of them, which I like that relationship, and it kind of made me sad when the dog died.
I think because they set up the thing where he has to try and get through the one tentacle monster obstacle to get through.
Yeah.
Which he does because he's Vin Diesel. He does that slide underneath because he couldn't get his bone weapon or whatever. Grab the dog, slide underneath, and then they walk for ages to the signpost warehouse thing.
Yeah. And then
he calls the bounty hunters.
Yeah, and then they come and try and get him.
Yeah. And well, the one set of bounty hunters with Batista there.
Yeah. Oh, what was his name again?
Yeah.
Nunez?
And then the second set of bounty hunters with Matt Nable and Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah. The backup of the backup. Yeah.
And when then they try to wrap around that Matt Nable is the father of the guy who got killed in Pitch Black.
I was trying to figure out who his son was.
He was the guy stealing the morphine. He didn't even say it.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, it's that guy, innit? Was he played by?
Yeah.
Oh, who's he played by again?
Oh, you mean who was he played by? I can't remember.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson.
Is he in Pitch Black?
What, Night Owl?
Yeah, is he in Pitch Black?
I can't
check. But like, yeah, because I was sitting there. I remember the first one was like, who was he talking about?
I also thought, okay, so in Riddick, right? I thought that him and Batista were gonna have a fight, which didn't happen. Well, I mean, it was more a skirmish than a fight, right?
Yeah.
But I thought there was going to be something happen. I did actually like Batista's acting here when they said that they shot they killed the dog or something like that.
Yeah.
and then when they call him out on it, because they see him through a telescope, they see the dog, and they're like,
yeah, it was another one.
Is that the dog you said you shot? And he's like, he just doesn't look at him, he just looks at him like, no.
It's a different one.
No.
Actually,
must be looks the same, and you know that he's chatting rubbish.
This is when I was like, yeah, Batista's is an amazing actor. Like, that's one of it. Is like, yeah, he's gonna go far.
Yeah, because you're like, he could just tell everything you needed to see.
Yeah.
From the way that he was just not looking at them, and the way that he was just looking around, and the way that he lived his line. It's like, actually, yeah, well done, because you told us that you were just talking rubbish straight up.
Yeah. And you're embarrassed, but you don't want to admit you're embarrassed. Yeah, man.
Also, and I did like it. Okay, so Vin Diesel's plan to get the nodes. So then they could take one of the spaceships. He could, if he took the nodes, then he can hold the spaceships hostage while they have to get off the planet because the storm was coming.
Yeah,
I did like that plan. It made sense. And then Batista's plan to kill them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
run out the motorcycle, like come out with the motorcycle, whatever, right? And then only one of them has oil to get back, whatever it is, the gas.
Something.
And then
long-winded.
Yeah, and then when Batista and Vin Diesel have their fisticuffs, Batista kind of like convulses and shoots. Like, Vin Diesel jumps off the cliff and slashes him in, I want to say half, but not really, right?
Because he does that weird, like, he gets him, like, he tries to give, I say, an underhook. He gets his arms and, like, pulls them up, like, for, like, an underhook sort of thing. And then he turns it into, like, a gymnastic cross thing, you know, like in the rings. When
I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? Huh?
But then this is a man, by the way. This is a man who used the leverage of his arm to break out of a hammerlock.
Yeah, so
Vin Diesel physics.
Yeah,
is
very to be Ferrarian or whatever they are. So I don't know how.
Everyone's saying, yeah.
I don't know how the body works.
I say you say Furion, but it's not just Riddick, because other Vin Diesel characters do. So Vin Diesel anatomy is different from other people's anatomies, apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, so that bit.
Logically speaking, when Batista had him in that position, he could have just done the black backflip kick.
Yeah.
Like
which made more
the
sense.
Charlie Nash somersault kick.
Yeah, which made more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, which he kind of does, but he doesn't. From that position, he pushes back on Batista, and it's just but you should have done something that made more sense.
Yeah.
Rather than chest pressing his arms close, even though he had his arms twisted back and pushed up. All right.
Made no sense. And then, then he so I like Batista's character.
Yeah. Then Vin Diesel and Matt Nable then have to bring the batteries back.
Yeah.
On foot. Yeah. And then Vin Diesel gets hurt, and then Matt Nable's like, I'm going to grab where's the battery? Give me the battery.
Yeah.
Grabs the battery, runs, you're thinking, he runs off. And Vin Diesel hurt at this point, right?
Yeah.
And you got the animals that were earlier in the film, the dogs, right? Coming after him, yeah? And I was like, but he ain't dying. Right? He's dying. Yeah. And the storm's coming on, and I was like, but...
Yeah.
No, I don't feel that he's going to suffer whatsoever.
Nope. Like I said, if this was like 2 years, if this before the whole Vin Diesel Renaissance stuff, I'm like, okay, if this came out more closer to Chronicles of Riddick, then I think maybe, they might have killed him off.
When did Babylon AD come out?
I want to say that must have been about 2006 or something like that.
Yeah, because I could imagine Vin Diesel going out in a blaze of glory, right? Yeah. Around that time, maybe. He fight the animals to the death, jump off the cliff, and you never know, he might survive to fight another day or whatever it is going to be, yeah? But at this point, I was like, nah, he ain't. They ain't leaving him, first of all, right? Because at this point, he's not a full-on villain. You wouldn't be those guys. They wouldn't, and those bounty hunters, they had some sort of code between them as well. So it's not as if it's like the first set of bounty hunters had to establish that they were dickheads.
Yeah.
So the second set could come in there and be like, no, we're reasonable people.
Yeah. Which they were. Which I kind of like them.
So, they rescue Vin Diesel, and he gets his one-liner with Katie Sackhoff, which we'll get to in a minute. But I really liked her in this film, actually.
Same here.
I thought she was really.
the leader of the first set of mercenaries, he was very rapey in my opinion.
Like, he needed to do what he needed to do so he could get killed the way he got killed. Okay,
he got killed was awesome.
Yeah. But then like, okay, so the way they portrayed her, she came in, she looked like she's a bounty hunter, right?
Yeah.
She looked like she could deal damage, and she looked like she was built to deal that as well.
Yeah.
So then that guy tries to be a bit too full on, right? And she like beats him up.
Yeah.
And then she has a scene where she's washing up, and she's got the top on. I'm like, you didn't need to show us anything. You know, because they do most of it where it's just above her.
Yeah.
Like her neckline. Yeah. But then there's one bit where you kind of like
see side boob, innit?
Yeah. Like you didn't. You did it all tastefully before. You didn't need to do it. Even if you had Vin Diesel's line where he was like gonna touch her or whatever it is, but he's watching her, which now he's not Xander Cage, so he's not a pervert, right?
Yeah.
But then what was he? It was like, I guess it was kind of trying to be aware of the situation, like what can I use within this vicinity, like what's my exit and entrance route? Like that's how I look at Riddick, where he's like, yeah, okay. He's like analyzing what's going on rather than, girl just happens to be topless there, whatever, right? I'm just gonna, it's not about her, it's about whatever. But Xander Cage would have been like straight in there.
It's like, like before you go into this bit, it was like another weird bit of nudity. I was like, why did this need to be here? You know,
you say first.
At the beginning bit where he's like talking about being the king of necromancers or whatever. Yeah. And then like there's this woman like, come back to bed or whatever.
Yeah, and then not just one woman, there's a woman behind her and another one behind her.
Yeah.
And then the woman walks over to him.
And like just line of her boobs, I'm like, was there even any need for this?
No. This film's rating could have been knocked down a notch if you just cut those things down
for no reason. Yeah.
And it's not even for the fan service whatever. It's just like it's out of place. Why did she not? Why couldn't she just be in some sort of like a sheer gown or whatever? Right?
Yeah. Because like there wasn't no nudity in Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah. I don't know if they would be like, oh, it's hardcore. It's got an edge to it, but it's just like and it's just out of place.
Yeah.
I don't know. But and so there's the like after Katie Sackhoff beats up the first bounty hunter lead guy, right?
Yeah.
It's slime ball, right?
Yeah.
And then Vin Diesel's got himself caged up, but not right. Oh, not caged up, but chained up, right? And then he's gonna explain how he's gonna escape, kick the knife in the guy's head, like away from the guy. Then kick it across and cut his head off, and it'll fall into the box.
Yeah.
And then he was saying about how he's going to hook up with Dahl, which is Katie Sackhoff's character, even though she said she's not into men, she's into women, right?
Yeah.
What do you call it? The first bounty hunter leader is very
rapey.
I want to say dismissive of her, but he's just intolerant because
she's a woman.
I don't know if he hates women or hates.
I don't think he hates people in general. I don't think he's like. I think he's just one of the people who
LGBTQ plus.
Yeah,
I
just think he. I don't know. He just come off with that guy who he needs to be in charge of everything.
Yeah.
If not,
even though he's not. I did like it when he got him trying to open the battery where he put the battery packs, and then everyone thinks he's gonna blow up, and they all just like. And Batista's like, boss, I believe you. And he takes 2 steps back.
And he starts recording it as well.
But so then he's like, Vin Diesel's like, Riddick's like, and that's after I go balls deep and down. I was like, oh, hold on a second. And he goes, only because she asked me nicely. I'm like, oh, okay. Wow, because the first half of that without that coming afterwards.
Like, that's a bit of a weird sentence to say, yeah.
And so then when she rescues him at the end, and we're like, so she's dangling down, like she has to use her legs to wrap up to pull him.
She straddles him,
and then she's like, well, so he's like, I think, but balls deep in the because she asked me sweetly, only because she asked me sweetly. And then at the end of the film, she's like, oh Riddick, there's something I want to ask you real sweet, like, and I'm like, okay, I know where that's heading, but realistically speaking, I think it would have been better if they do the exact same thing, and then he says to her, "Isn't there supposed to be something you asked me real sweet like?"
Yeah, that would be
you could
that
do a
would be
smirk
more.
or like
That'd be more clever.
You know that semi-smirk where you don't know if it's like a flirtatious smile or like this guy, man, this joker right here, you know. This is not a situation you want to be chatting that stuff to me or something like that. Just to be because then it's like. It's not like, oh, Riddick's so mad he could turn a lesbian straight or anything. It should just be like, you know what? It's a joke. I said before.
Yeah, it would have made more sense.
I'm back to it now, just to nudge a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Which came off.
Yeah.
What
after when you're watching this movie?
Yeah.
Because you what? Okay. So there was I see rumors, right? There was fan art of Katie Sackhoff as Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, now, yeah.
Would you have liked to have seen? Do you think she would have been a good Captain Marvel? Would you have liked to have seen her as Captain Marvel?
If this was in the mid 2000s, early 2010s, maybe.
Yeah. Because I was like, okay, now I she's not old, right? But at the point, I think if you want to have her doing a trilogy, at the age when Captain Marvel comes out in 2019, and she would have been like 35, 6 or something like that.
Really? I thought you might be older than that.
Oh, no. Was she born in 1980?
She's
been 39.
I think she's. I don't know. For some reason, I think she's like in her late 40s. Let me carry on.
I think by the time first Captain Marvel come out, she would have been in her late 30s. Yep.
Yeah. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 40. Whereas, so she would have been 39. 39 should have been.
Yeah, so I don't think they would have cast a 39-year-old because they want to.
Yeah, if she was a man, they would.
You know? Yeah, if she was 5 years younger, you know.
Yeah, 5 years younger.
Yeah, and I would have liked to seen it because she looked like she can handle herself, and also I'm sure. Have you seen Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah, I've seen that.
So the way she acts in that and in this, I want to say are two different, right? However. You have seen Halloween
Resurrection?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was alright now. Yeah.
And The Flash, right?
Oh yeah, she's what's her name? The wannabe Cockney chick. Oh,
yeah. So she's a flexible actress, isn't and she's because she was acting dopey in Halloween Resurrection. But here, as a straight-laced action chick, I believe it, you know.
Yeah. I totally forgot. She even watching The Flash when she was Blacksmith, I forgot it was her. Like, oh snap, that's her. Oh,
yeah, because she's acting like a bit over the top in that as well. Yeah. She knows how to turn it down and up. And I'm like, yeah.
Because
you know,
I always know her for like subdued portrayals of people, not like over the top like, rah! Like oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's cool, man. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. 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 It's all but she keeps her capability through the entire film, unlike Kyra.
Yeah.
Did you think at some point she's gonna just lose her abilities or do you think they built her up too much to allow her to drop down?
Yeah, I think they built her up. They made sure she was like a strong character rather than like
maybe because they were making up for how they did Dirty the young chick.
Yeah, because she could have been Clara. She could have been something, you know. Like, even she still could have died, but like she could have died on like at least doing something, not like accidentally in a way doing something and then dying. Yeah,
doing something and then doing nothing because it's like what?
Is that really? Okay.
Yeah.
This is how it is.
What? So, but if there was a Riddick 4 coming out, you go and watch it.
Of course.
Now, because of what has been set up, I would also. I feel like I would also watch it because I want to know what happens. Whereas if you get the plot point, and if you're not going to be him versus Carl Urban or whatever it is that wrap up that storyline, it's like, well, why?
What was the point? Why? Yeah, why tease it if it's not going to come? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Carl Urban played the creative control card and said, "Nah, that doesn't work for me, brother"?
Probably. He was like, when you first got me, I was a nothing. Now I'm kind of a somebody, and I feel like I'm gonna do nothing with me. So.
No, I did like how they used him in this one because he didn't have much screen time, but just be like, "Yeah, I'm here to do stuff." He came across as straight when I was watching the first time. It's like, "Yeah, I'm on the throne, Vin Diesel. We're gonna pretend this is Furion. Get my bodyguard to go and kill you.
Yeah,
get you dropping." I did actually like a smart move from the bodyguard guy, where he's like, Vin Diesel kills. He's like, oh, about this betrayal, and he throws his knives and he kills the other the henchman, right? And the guy gets his gun, and he's shooting, and Vin Diesel's behind the rock, and then he's like looking at the ground because he steps on it, and it's like crackly, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot the floor.
Yeah.
I don't need to fight you. I'm like, yes, good move, good move.
But apparently, wait, I'm looking now.
Yeah,
apparently, there is a 4. Was apparently meant to be shooting this year. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's in it?
Oh, it just says I don't think they put a cost for it yet.
Oh, he's shooting this year. Come out next year, maybe, right?
Yeah. So we'll see. Whenever Fast and Furious 2, was it Fast and Furious 10 plus 2 Part 2? Sorry.
I think they'll call it X2. Fast X2.
Yeah. Whenever that gets done.
2 man X2 straight up.
I think they're still trying to film that, so I don't know what's going on because I got delayed, didn't it? So hey.
Yeah. Well,
but I need to see. I want to, like you said, the ending. I need to see why you teased all that, like him going to like the necromancer dimension or whatever it is, and then 10 years later, nothing's happened since.
yeah. It took him 10 years to go into that hole. Maybe he's just outside again. I don't know.
Let me go on another space adventure and come back. And,
you know what? Look, Carl, he hasn't come out that hole yet, so I can't kill him. I don't know if I want to go in that hole. So, you know, yeah. I mean, I'm still king, right? Because he hasn't come and killed me, so he didn't get one. Yeah. As far as the rules, you know what? Someone just watch this hole and let me know, and I'm just gonna go on a different space adventure.
Yeah, and then come back. I'll get captured.
You know what? Though, logically speaking, I know you might not like this, but would you have preferred it if, as far as this, if Vin Diesel was like doing a series or something like that, like a short 6-episode whatever, that he's filming for like a couple of months of the year, like Riddick, like not necessarily Chronicles of Riddick, because not, but just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna do a couple of episodes of this, a short Disney Plus series, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Do my movies after, like where I make big money, and then do some Riddick stuff, you know?
I wouldn't mind that. If they turned
projects.
Riddick, like a kid carried on Riddick, like in the TV series, kind of like, you know, like the Mandalorian's on like that. Like, yeah, I'll be alright with that. Yeah, that's cool. You know, at least it's high budget and it'll be like premiere TV, as they call it, you know, rather than
like of all of Vin Diesel's franchise characters being Dominic Toretto, Xander Cage, and Riddick. I think Riddick could carry a 4 to 8 episode series.
Yeah.
For a chunk, and then come back next year and do another 4 to 8.
Yeah,
you know?
That's the only character really, because like Don Toretto is kind of you see what you see is what you get. You can't really deep dive more into that character because we know what he is. He likes cars, and now he's a superhero. And like Xander Cage is just like the extreme James Bond with less personality. You know what I mean? So it's like again, you can't dive into his character, can you? Riddick, you can because he has that mystique that we still don't know stuff about him. And all we know is like a bit about his people, not know much about him. So you can like elaborate on that. And
you can go planet traveling to different places and do different things for like a sidetrack story, and then come back to it. You know?
Him meeting others of his race that he thought were dead. Kind of explain why his eyes are the way they are and stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's.
And why have such a plain name like Richard B. Riddick? Like something else, Riddick, man. Can we get an alien space name or whatever, you know?
That's the other
Furians, come on.
That's the other thing I found hilarious. Like, so these are guys meant to be like all aliens and stuff, but they all look human. You know what I mean? There's nothing different about any of them. They all look
human. And that can come of by if you're saying, terraformed worlds and from the humans and stuff like that. But
But I was like, oh, these guys all probably descend from humans, right? Because you got people in space called like Nunez and like Sanchez and stuff like that. So it's like, but you know what I mean? It's like, these guys are from Earth.
What did you think of Dark Fury?
Oh, this is what I said my thing at the beginning. Like, Vin Diesel is a pretty good voice actor, if I'm honest. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, but we always knew that. I think we always knew that.
Because of Iron Giant, So I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool. I would love to see more of these.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, the animation reminded me of Aeon Flux.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the TV show.
I don't know if it's not by the same team or whatever, but yeah, they kind of it just kind of made me think, oh yeah, it's like this. Yeah. They got the original girl who played Jack to do the voiceover for Jack in the animated movie, which came out in 2004 as a prequel to Chronicles of Riddick, and then they got a whole new girl to be that character.
Yeah, as Kira.
I think so. They probably just wanted to be the twist of you don't know if this girl is Jack or not, even though she kind of Vin Diesel. He's super detective. He knows because he works out right away because he always works out stuff right away. Apparently, Riddick. I
came looking for you. Yeah. And I like how they had to Keith David as well. I like how they kind of explained how they went their separate ways. Okay, that explains why she's there and this. Okay, cool. Rather than, she went and became a mercenary just like you. What led to this? And then, Dark Fury explained it to me. Great, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a badass.
Because, but that was, I guess, when Riddick was still on that halfway line of being a tweener.
Yeah.
Before he went full face.
Yeah.
Because it's like, because you don't want Jack to become like Riddick. It's like, but when we see the rest of the movies, why wouldn't you be on it? Riddick is a good guy, straight up. So
So this is when I reckon this was a turning point for him. Like, his mind, like how they kind of like justify in the films. What happened there was kind of like because she killed someone, didn't she?
Yeah, to save him. Yeah.
So I think that's when he's like, you know what? This is that clicking moment. Like, I need to get away from her because I don't want her to become like me because I can see that she thinks I'm awesome and this can. I
actually thought as well when the film started that the elemental, the lady in the white was going to end up being Judi Dench's character.
Yeah.
How are they going to age that? And then it took a whole different turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because I watched it in reverse. I watched Chronicles of Riddick, then I watched Dark Fury. I think you might have done the same, right?
Yeah. But only because I saw Chronicles of Riddick in cinema before, so I had that in my head previous. So I was like trying to attach plot lines that I was thinking the way it was going, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I was like, she's not the same. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. But the animation, like, okay, it looks kind of dated now. Like it's 20 years ago, but it's still pretty good. And
let me ask. Had you played the games?
No, you know what? The other day I should have bought it. I almost bought Chronicle Riddick's
Butcher Bay.
Yeah, Butcher Bay. Almost bought it because I remember hearing that's an amazing game.
Yeah. That's why I hear like Vin Diesel himself. Input in it. I'm like, all right, okay.
So next time I see it for dirt cheap, I'll probably buy it because again, I don't know why I didn't. Because I remember when it first came, I was like, nah. This is when movie tie-in games started dipping in quality. I was like, why am I going to buy this? And then I heard it get like 9 out of 10. I was like, wow, okay.
Wait, when you say so was it the remastered edition or the
original? Original Xbox version from like 2004.
Yeah, because I believe there's the remastered edition which has some other stuff, but I think it's not meant to be as good for some reason. I don't know.
Probably like tried to do better improvement of life stuff to it and kind of made it work. I guess.
I think it had some other DLC or whatever as well bundled with it. But
okay.
Yeah.
I might see them.
And that's meant to be. Is it before Pitch Black?
No, I think it might be.
Yeah.
Because they mentioned Butcher's Bay and Pitch Black, don't they?
Yeah, and I think that's where he gets put on in Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah. So I might have to...
that reminds me while they're in the prison. That the Jack girl, she must have seen a lot of, I want to say necessarily hard times, but what I'm saying is she must have been fighting for her life because when they tried to attack her in the guys with the guns that tried to attack her in the prison, and she's handing herself, right?
Yeah.
Until the numbers game, but I'm like, no, she's very, very, doing very well until the point where Vin Diesel has to step in because, he's Vin Diesel. He's got to steal contact.
Yeah.
If he wasn't there, if he was locked up somewhere still in the chains or whatever, you would have probably seen her be able to deal with everyone herself, right? He's got to come in there. He's got to drink his soup from his cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? And he goes,
It's tea.
no, what did he say? Yeah, it's not a cup.
Kills
It's
with
tea.
a coffee cup. Like, actually, it's tea. And like, okay.
Yeah.
And then
what he does is, he shanks it into the guy's heart, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, okay.
Oh wow, okay. Never imagined seeing something happen. Cool. All right.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like he puts it in. He doesn't even twist it or nothing like to get further. He just shank it straight in.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how strong are you? You know,
like,
because you don't display super strength within this film later on, and it's not as if the guy ran into you and then you shanked him. He's just like boom, straight there. You know.
Yeah.
And again, that probably explains the logic of how he can close his arms while Batista's like trying to wrench him back,
or get hit the shockwave gun and like survive and stuff like. Yeah, it's a lot of.
Like you say, it's just cool, but doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't make any sense to other stuff later on, but you know.
Yeah, but like for him to keep up with the half dead king guy who like can teleport, like wait.
Well, yeah, but let me put it this way. I know I'm exaggerating here, but this man outran the sun, so.
True. He's capable of anything. He can outrun the sun. I wish I could do that.
What do you? By the way, as far as the logic goes of the scene, I'm not just gonna play it up because Vin Diesel created control and everything like that. But you see the Furion that walked into the sun and then he just kind of turned into dust, right?
Yeah.
So when Vin Diesel poured all the water over him to rescue Jack, and then after he saves her, and he's just standing there and the steam's coming off him, he's like, I'm the man.
That looked awesome, but
yeah. Well, but would that work considering how quickly that guy burnt to?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, if anything, you probably saved yourself for like a split second, not long enough for you to like, because for him,
and she was exposed to the sun with nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like because it was starting to turn.
Maybe.
Yeah, but they should explain. They should say something because I know by the time that other guy walked into it, it was full on.
Yeah. But then the other
blazing.
guy who peeked out, he like got instantly eviscerated.
Yeah.
So like, make it make sense, dudes. Yeah. But then I think you're right. I think that's one of the things you can't explain it. I mean, like they tried to like, okay. Their explanation was like that pouring the water on him, even though that doesn't make any sense. But it's the only kind of.
The thing is that if they didn't say it was water, if they said it was some sort of gel liquid or whatever it was in the canister, give me what's in the canister, whatever liquid that the liquid that's in the canister, because then you can say they pre-prepared just in case.
I don't know, but then you get in that Batman territory, like he prepared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
I don't know. I think it would have made more sense to me if he
put the liquid. He had the cloak, right?
Yeah.
Did he have the cloak? Yeah, he did. Didn't he? He poured liquid on him and had the cloak. Did he not put the cloak?
I think he did. You might be right.
Yeah. So if he soaked the cloak in the liquid and covered himself with it, then maybe you'd be like, that's okay-ish.
Yeah.
But then maybe you would have steamed him inside it. So maybe not then.
Yeah, it's a weird. I don't know. It's.
But even in case she was not covered or anything like that, she should have she didn't come out there no toasty, no nothing, not like wow, suntan or not that, not like whew, that was a bit of a couple of burns, She was just like yeah,
like I'm fine.
yeah. I
don't know. It was a weird. It was an awesome scene, but like the more you think about it, the more confusing it gets.
Yeah. Well, that's I guess part of the reason why I don't enjoy Chronicles of Riddick so much is a lot of this is more like, boy, am I cool. Boy, is this character Riddick supposed to emanate cool.
But he does,
Well, no, he does it in Riddick. In the Riddick film and the Pitch Black, but it's not to the levels of in Chronicles of Riddick. It's like overboard.
Yeah. Well, they had to make the future king of Necromancer Land super cool,
Well, here's the thing: if he's that potent in ability, that must mean the king, who was teleport spamming,
should be even cooler.
He's more next level than Riddick.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah, I know that. But if I was fighting a guy who I saw had Riddick's abilities to be so amazing, I'd be like, nah,
Not worth
that's
it. Yeah.
no.
Maybe that's why Carl's urban character never thought him. Like, it's not worth it.
I
know my abilities and I know it is, so I'm just gonna sit this one out.
We don't know that for sure. We don't know that. What we know is that maybe Carl Urban's abilities he knew within himself was so great that he's like, Riddick, I don't need to fight. You're beneath me.
Nah, he was like, I can't. There's no way I can compare to this, so I'm just gonna,
Well, yeah, we can always put it this way, yeah.
Yeah.
Just if you want to scale the power levels, yeah. How many women did we see with Vin Diesel when he was the king? About
4.
Was it 4 or 5?
4 or 5. He killed one. But
yeah,
4 or 5,
yeah. And Carl Urban only had one lady with him, right?
Who maybe a piece of imagination, just saying.
Yeah, who wasn't with him in the sequels, by the way. No. So that should scale up, right? That should just show you how amazing each person is. One guy could get, if we're gonna do on a scale of partners,
yeah,
awesomeness because of your magnetic aura. I don't know. But Carl Urban's a 1 and Vin Diesel's a 5. They're characters, anyways.
Yeah.
Even though we've got no other thing to scale them with because there's nothing else.
There's nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing at all, sadly.
Yeah. But look, I don't want to say I'm necessarily excited to see what Riddick I want to say Furiosa, but that's not it. Furion?
Yeah, it was called. Yeah, I feel it was meant to be
the final Furion or whatever, right? Yeah. Whatever they're going to call it. I don't necessarily know if I'm excited to watch that. But I guess that depends on if the story is actually going to conclude or not. Because sometimes they won't,
Yeah, they have to conclude at this point. Because
I don't necessarily conclude it. He actually concluded his Carl Urban part of the story.
Yeah.
Is what we're hoping, anyways.
Because I hope if they do a 4th one, that they bypass his character. Then why was the whole
at the beginning of the movie and he's dead on the floor?
Yeah,
why?
Or he died off screen. Something like that. I'm like, but why did you bother? Okay, fair enough. It's 11 years later, and he's probably too busy filming The Boys and being Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 2, which
we should have been the Miz.
Yeah,
should have been the Miz, right?
Weird casting choice, if I'm honest, but okay, cool, whatever. But yeah, we'll see. Because once Fast and Furious is done, Vin Diesel, that's kind of done, isn't it? So he's alright.
Well, he could always go back to be one of his other 2 franchise characters.
Yeah, or 3. What was it? Was it Witch Hunter? Was it that one?
The Last Witch Hunter?
Yeah.
Which didn't have a sequel, so he's not a franchise character, I wouldn't say.
But I could see him trying to get that off the ground again.
Okay.
It's based on his D&D character, isn't it? You know that, right?
Are you looking forward to playing Chronicles of Riddick Butcher Bay when you find it?
Actually, I'm actually going to be playing. I am looking forward to it. Like I said, man,
really?
I love Mark Sinclair. He's a great
but as the game itself, from what you've been hearing, it's meant to be pretty good, right?
Maybe pretty good, but I don't know if it's one of those things. It was good then, but playing it now because 20 years later and first-person shooters have changed a lot since then. Will it be the same? It's if you go back now, for me, for example, for the last 15 years I've been playing Call of Duty. If I went back now to play GoldenEye, I know it's gonna be terrible.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's gonna be that sort of situation. But
GoldenEye's still pretty good, by the way. I played it not too long ago. But with people.
Yeah, with people.
He's got. There's been leaps of in technology since.
Yeah.
But it's more of the fun of people playing on split screen, and then you get people looking at your screens, and you're like, no, don't screen watch.
Because I could go back and probably play Halo 2 and feel fine. Yeah. But I don't know about GoldenEye.
I played Half-Life last year.
Any good still?
Yeah.
Okay.
The graphics look a bit.
Yeah.
But then again, as well, the boss fight, there weren't really any boss fights or anything like that. So yeah.
I can't remember that now. I know this is a random side tangent now. Going back to early games, there wasn't really much boss battles in games, were they?
Nowadays I think we're kind of I say nowadays, but in the past 10 years or so, we're more used to this. You've got to get past a particular section, and there's an elite enemy boss, whatever, that obstructs you. Yeah. Whereas some of these things you get past,
that's it,
and you're like, where? But
yeah, oh,
Yeah, even at the end of the game was like, and I played Blue Ship as well. Then there was like bosses, but they're not really bosses. You know, there wasn't kind of
Oh,
yeah. But I've got Half-Life 2 as well, so I'll play that at some point.
Yeah, Half-Life 2.
Yeah. But yeah, and I could go back and play an old school game. Sometimes the graphics are, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be, and actually, you know what? The old PlayStation games. I know we're going a little bit of a sidetrack here. Yeah. You remember Fighting Force or anything like that?
Yeah, I almost bought that.
And there was another game, Crisis Beat, as well.
Yeah.
And I was looking at these old school games, and I'm like, you know what? I can still play them though. I could still. I don't like if I saw if I had them, I'd still play them.
Yeah.
Because you get through the game and you're like, all right, you know, the graphics or whatever, but it's not going to be an extensively long game or whatever. Some things are, you know,
like
product of their era. Even like something like Time Crisis, and you're like, you know what?
Yeah. Time Crisis, I still play it in the arcade. Well, not Morning Number 2. I still play it in the arcade every now and then. Oh yeah,
But even when you had Time Crisis on PlayStation, which was toned down from the arcade system because they couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
But you know, something like Taken 3 still looks good. I think it's just more. You know, it's retro throwback, and sometimes you get games that are trying to imitate that style. So you're like, it's not always too out. When you look at Metal Gear Solid, and you're like, yeah, that looks really cool. And then you look at Metal Gear 2, 3, and you're like, you know what, actually?
Yeah.
But I expect the graphics for Butcher Bay to be like Metal Gear 2, 3? Is it PlayStation 2?
Yeah, PlayStation 2 and Xbox. So yeah, it'd be like that sort of graphics. So it should be still, yeah. Like Adam, because I'm on like again, this is like a weird side tangent. I've recently got sort of back into like buying PlayStation 2, Xbox games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I almost thought, I almost thought buying PlayStation 1 games, and then I bought like a few old DDR games, like Dance Revolution games, and I put it in my PlayStation, and I was like, this hurts my eyes. I mean, like, it's just that bad. Like, imagine playing a game that you're like characters, like obviously dance games like the arrows and like sort of background noise sort of thing, like the screen. But I'm thinking if I'm gonna play like the first Metal Gear, I would probably cry because of how like bad it probably looks now.
Yeah,
I mean, especially
you mean a NES Metal Gear or Metal Gear Solid?
Metal Gear Solid, like. See, Metal Gear on like the SNES, I reckon I can get around it because it's like 16-bit and like it's kind of pixels.
8-bit. That's how far back it is.
But then like 32-bit graphic games, I don't know. There's something about it like that was not a great period for games. Like, if I'm honest, like it just looks so bad.
It's because body parts seem to be detached and to each other.
Like or like their torso is literally a triangle with like it's wasn't a great time. I guess.
Yeah, but So you are So I think how many Riddick games are there? 3?
I think there's 3.
Would you play all of them?
If I could get all of them, I'll play them just to see how it is.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay. But we hear good things about one of them.
Yeah.
And we don't know enough about any of the other ones.
No, they're pretty terrible.
Would you say you're looking forward to playing them, or would you be like, I don't know about that?
I look forward to playing them because, like,
would you get both versions? Would you be playing the remake version and the original version just to compare, or would you be just
to compare? I'll probably play both. Just like see if there's any better quality of life improvements, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like I bought the freaking Fast and Furious Crossroads game.
Oh jeez.
That game is apparently I played a bit of it. I couldn't get into it, but that game literally because it was like apparently so terrible. It got delisted. You can't get it. So I've got it, and it's on my hard drive, so I can't like ever get rid of my Xbox hard drive. There.
All right.
Because you can't go to the store and like re-download it if you don't have it. So
okay.
Yeah, it's a weird game.
Why did you get that? Because you're. Can you even play Vin Diesel in that game?
No, but he's in the game. Literally, like him. He's on like.
Against him.
Yeah, he's actually spoken about him. No, I don't think you can. Like, he did missions with him. It was like,
Of course. It's Undertaker at WrestleMania level of hardness, right?
Yeah. So he comes and like, because he'll do missions and stuff, and he's like, you're part of the family now. I need you to go to Barcelona.
Oh, it's actually Vin Diesel's voice.
Yeah, actually Vin Diesel's voice, motion capture and everything. Like, he had a huge like input in the game. Might be why the game's terrible. But like,
no, but he also had a huge input in the Chronicles of Riddick game, and it was meant to be really good. So
also, you've heard that game Ark, right? I mean Ark, right? You know,
Lost
the game
Ark?
called Ark.
No,
It's some like, it's kind of, you start the dawn of time like you're a caveman and stuff like that, and then you like it's like a survival game, but it's online as well, and like you could just be building your hut and like Triceratops will come like destroy your hut and stuff like that, and you die, you start from the beginning and stuff. He actually loved that game so much, he helped finance number 2, which is coming out soon, and a TV show and a film to go with it. And it's weird because you see like the trailer for like the next one, you see him like as a caveman sort of, and like this is weird, right? Sure, Mark, if that's what you like. I'm not gonna question you.
All right.
Great guy.
Okay. I mean, all right. You know.
Yeah. You know.
To be fair, I think he's saying he financed some of the Riddick movies.
Yeah.
With his own money.
Yeah. I respect him for that stuff. Yeah. Like.
Was it these sets of movies that he got? So he did a cameo in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift to get the rights for Riddick, I believe.
I think it's Riddick, or I think he's Riddick, or might be Triple X.
I was gonna say, but I think it was Riddick, right?
Yeah.
Because at least he did make something with Riddick afterwards. Yeah. Whereas no, when was Fast and Furious 3? 2006, yeah.
I think it's 2007.
Yeah. So he didn't do anything with Riddick until later on, but at least he didn't do anything with Triple X for way later on. So I feel it was. I feel he got the rights to Riddick.
Yeah. Oh, bless him for that. Yeah.
and then he put up his own money to make the movie. Yeah, I was like, okay, you know, fair enough.
Yeah, it's like, you know, if you believe in a franchise that much, you're willing to do that. Like, good on you, man. Like,
yeah. Exactly. I mean, yeah. As much as the start of his own vehicle, putting his own money in to make himself,
but still,
he done it. So
you got to respect it.
Yeah, exactly. He took a risk.
Yeah,
and it might not even paid off, but you know, I'm sure he had enough money to fall back on in order to take the risk in the first place. It's not like he didn't have any money, and it's not as if his career was going downhill and he just needed to take the shot. You know?
Yeah, I don't think his career will ever go downhill. Unless he does like something really bad. You know what I mean? Like, unless he does something super bad. Yeah. Or like, you know, he decides that he's gonna make a biopic on Hitler and he plays Hitler or something like that. That's the only time I can see like his career go down.
What we say is Vin Diesel does his best acting when he's got hair, so
Yeah.
Or when he's not even in the movie, you know?
Or that, when he's not in the movie or he's the voice, like I'm Groot. Yeah. One of his best lines. Yeah,
that's what I meant. I mean, not to say Vin Diesel does his acting when he's not in the movie. I mean, like when he does the voice because he's not in the movie.
Yeah, he's in the sound booth. Probably a sound booth in his house.
I know we diverged a good couple of times, but spinning back to the Riddick franchise, do you think it's a well done franchise?
Yeah.
Would you like to see more? I
would like to see more.
Yeah. Like, do you think number 2 is good? I think I could accept number 2 as, in my opinion, a blip upon number 1 and number 3 because I feel they were better, and number 2 was a bit too
grandiose.
Yes, or supposedly, you know, you try to be too Vin Diesel.
It tried,
even though the films are right, but I think they tried to explain too much, tried to put everything in, and tried to be like, I'm the star of the show. Just had a bit too much power, I think.
I don't think he at that point he did, if I'm fair. Like, because he wasn't doing any Fast and Furious.
You know, then I would say it's not Vin Diesel. It's the writers wrote him a bit too powerful for that film. Then.
I feel like they was trying to get ahead of the curve and try and build like a cinematic universe too quick. You know what I mean? Yeah, and just didn't sort of go right. So I kind of feel like this period kind of hampered him for roles and stuff. Because what did he really do after that? Like.
When did he do The Pacifier?
That might be around this time, I think. That might be like 2004, 2005.
Okay, I'm not saying that he had a downward trajectory of his career, but when did he go quiet for a little bit?
I want to say between 2007 and 2009, because 2009 is when Fast and Furious 4 came out.
Yeah, I think there was a period where he was just doing Fast and Furious films to help keep his
Oh, that would have been like the whole 2010s.
Oh yeah.
With the Fast and Furious bits, yeah.
And then he started coming back with some other films that he was doing that wasn't Fast and Furious. So
I'm trying to think what
yeah,
the odd one here and there. I'm trying to remember what they were. Yeah.
Yeah, but then look, if a man's got a franchise that makes him money,
yeah, man, you to question it. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
I would have done the same thing. You know, I would have milked that cat.
But I think at this point, at a certain point as well, like Riddick became just a Vin Diesel acting as Vin Diesel.
Yeah, but that's
I would say in Pitch Black he was the Riddick character.
Yeah.
And in Chronicles of Riddick, he was kind of, but then he was just turning to himself towards just acting as Vin Diesel. Which, well, look, we'll say that all these, there are people that just act to themselves. So whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I say by the Riddick film, like the actual Riddick.
Yeah, he was Vin Diesel by then.
Yeah, but he was trying to bring it back, some Riddickness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't full on Vin Diesel.
No, when he's only full on Vin Diesel, when you think about it now, it's just say like the Fast and Furious films. I wouldn't even say Bloodshot because he was.
I would say Triple X is the most full on Vin Diesel.
Yeah, no, that's full on Vin Diesel. That's him literally waking up one day and just being him. Yeah.
you know what? So when you're saying this, for all these other movies, he tones himself down. So we the normal human beings, right?
You can understand him. And
yeah. But every day he wakes up and he's like, he is Xander Cage. Yeah.
No, he stopped himself from being that. Like, you know, I need to stop this. I need to be like, I need to make the other people, the average person, be able to relate to me. Yeah.
So I'm gonna power myself down.
So he toned it down, and I respect that.
Yeah, he's like, Frieza doesn't walk around in his fourth form all day. No. He does first form Frieza because that's how he lives amongst the humans.
Yeah,
that's exactly Vin Diesel here.
That's Vinny.
We gotta. Then that means should do the Triple X franchise at some point. Franchise because our boy Ice Cube is. Wait, no. Yeah. I was gonna say I nearly got mixed up with Ice T for a second.
It's the Cube.
Yeah, it's Ice Cube. Just as we'll see how that works. But yes, okay, that will conclude us for the Riddick franchise. Which I feel like, you know what? If he did Chronicles of Riddick and then he did like a couple of say there was a 5-year break and then he did a couple of TV bits and pieces, I'd have been fine with that.
Yeah.
Just like there's long breaks without it, and there's stuff they could do with it because there's the expanded universe they could do stuff.
Yeah, but that's it. Literally, you can kind of do what they're trying to do with Mad Max franchise. Like,
yeah. You
can find out more about the necromancers, whatever they're called. They're not the necro. I don't care what they're called, but yeah, them.
All we care is Carl Urban comes back.
Yeah, I want him to come back, even if he comes back as like. Billy the Butcher version of it, like, hello, you lot, I'm a king anymore.
You goddamn Riddick, you.
Yeah, you goddamn Riddick.
If they just had him come back as a ghostly entity, while Carl Urban's just doing the voice because they can't afford him, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. He's just that's kind of cheap, but whatever, right?
But still, I wouldn't be upset with that.
I feel like these guys, man, there's something to why they just worm their way out of it.
Yeah.
Carl Urban stopping himself from doing the job because he's now got creative control powers. Yes.
Yes, I'm Carl Urban. Yeah, that's something to do.
But yes, that
wraps it up.
Yep. Yep. I'm the Necro King that Vin Diesel stabs straight in the skull. D.Y. Chung.
And I am the guy who Vin Diesel scared so much I sat on the chair and said, "I saw it." Which that bit was so weird to me. I was like, wait, what? You just sat there quietly and said, I saw him. Oh, okay. Yes, cartels. And thank you for listening. I'll talk about my boy, Mark Sinclair, or as you mortals know him as Vin Diesel. Oh. And yeah, let us know. Are you a fan of the Riddick franchise? And what is your favorite Riddick film? Is it Chronicles of Riddick, the film that tried to be more than it should have been? Not in a bad way, but or are you more of a fan of the Riddick? Wait, is it called the Riddick or just called Riddick?
You know, it'd be great if it was
called the Riddick. The Riddick, like the Batman. Yeah, it'd be better if like the Riddick.
Yeah.
Oh. Or even his earlier venture, Pitch Black. Let us know, and you can do that in the comment section down below if you watch this on YouTube. If you listen to this in the audio version, you can leave us a tweet, a Instagram comment in the post. You can even email us, and all that lovely information can be found in the description part on YouTube down below, or in the little bit on your podcast. I think you press the screen, it'll bring up all that stuff. And if you watch this YouTube, well, don't forget to sub to the channel. Got stuff going on there. What else is there? Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, follow us on all that. And yes, until next time, guys. We would like to thank you for taking a trip with us around this universe that houses the god known as Vin Diesel. And that was me just being super just stupid. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening, and we'll catch you next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.